Um, I'm really happy about how things look. The way we train in the spring and in the summer is probably, of my 4 years, it's been the best, improvement-wise, and how productive we've been. It's, I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I think we're in a good place right now for preseason.
AJ, how are you feeling being a seasoned veteran at this point?
Seasoned veteran. That's tough. I mean, I feel like the 3 years or the 2 years that I've been here, it's been really fast. And I've learned a lot, but at the same time, I feel like I have so much more to learn. And I'm just trying to soak it all up. I wouldn't call myself a veteran by any means.
Ross, what was it like this summer watching the girls in the Olympics and London?
Well, I mean, I think everybody is, if you follow the sport, you just have national pride in your teams, and the fact that we had a couple of Penn Staters on the roster was, certainly a little, more rewarding for everybody that cared about Penn State. I heard from a lot of people around the country who were watching the matches, and I think everybody really embraced the participation and the fact that those two individuals made the team. And we also recognized that we had two that were selected as alternates, so we were sensitive to how their feelings were and how they felt as the games went along. But it was sure exciting to watch both men's and women's teams play. The beach game is always exciting. So just from a volleyball standpoint, I thought it was great to watch.
Were you able to watch all the games?
I watched all the games except a couple. I passed on a couple of Tunisia and Algeria games. Yeah, I watched all the men and women. I watched all the matches. So.
The ladies, how did you feel about watching former Penn Staters get to that point?
Nothing is cooler to say, oh my gosh, I've played with Megan Hodge, and she is the leading scorer against China right now. Like, that was just unbelievable. It just makes you so proud that, they went through Penn State, and that I was blessed enough to be a part of a team that she was on. I've always wanted to play with Krista. She is, in my opinion, the definition of what Penn State volleyball is all about. Just how hard she works and how dedicated she is to the sport, and I loved seeing them, and it was really great. I got to talk to both of them while they were over there, so it was nice.
How's leadership this year, and how important is that going to be?
Well, I think leadership's always important, and I think, I think it could be better, but I think it's better than it was last year. So, I think we had a lot of younger players, and they're a year older. I don't know if all of a sudden you become a great leader, but I think through experiences you understand the importance of decision making, and hopefully that the players will be able to make the right decisions as they go about team cohesion and doing the things that this group needs to do to be successful. We've had some teams where I thought we could just overpower the opponents, and we were at the top of the heap, and so much of the outcome of the matches were based on how we played. Now we're in a situation where we really need to focus more on team activities and team scenarios to enhance our chances for success.
Dom, heading into year two, what areas were you looking to improve in most over the summer?
Well, I really was working on improving defense. That's the thing Coach and I have always talked about. I think I needed to get a lot better at. So during the spring, I worked a lot on defense, and as a team, we were working just a lot on being better teammates with each other and working hard each and every day together to get to where we really wanted to be.
Dom, what's competition been like in practice for you?
I think every day it's been great competition. Players every day, like we always say, every practice are fighting for a position. So it's great. It's great. It keeps you involved every single minute of every practice. You know that someone else, if you don't play well, could take your spot, and I think that's a good thing to have on our team.
Asia and Kristen, you've been through an off season where you've been defending champs, and now you've been through a season where you aren't. How different was this off season and starting the training camp?
For me, I think I came off one season where I was just stunned and amazed about what could happen, and then the other season I was just extremely disappointed with myself, and that having that feeling and knowing how good you could feel after the season just makes you so hungry, and it gives you just start making a list of things that you need to do to start getting back into that spot. And I think it's one of the best things that could have happened for me personally as a player, to see what I need to do and how hard I need to push myself to get back.
It was definitely a reality check. I mean, because for my class, it's the first off season we've had that we haven't won our last game, and which was really tough. But I think it's probably the best thing that could have happened to this group of girls, because we know that it doesn't come easy. And yeah, we've had outstanding players in the past, and we have outstanding players now. It's just it's now in the back of our minds where they worked so hard to get this program where it is, and we can't just do what we did last year. So I think the off season this year was a whole lot more driven, and which was just really good. It was a great off season.
If there's one thing you guys worked on this offseason to improve on from last year, can you name one thing? Or?
I think it was being a team.
Yeah.
You know, I think, our leadership wasn't really there. I think people tried, but I don't think we were a team. And I think that's what we really, really worked on this summer.
What did you do to work on?
Spending more time with each other, kicking each other's butts, honestly, just working out the little kinks. You know, it's like a family where you get angry at each other and you don't say anything about it. You know, things aren't going to work out. So you need to be open, and you need to push each other to be better teammates.
Are they saying all the right things?
Well, you know, it's interesting. It's always interesting to hear what they say. But yeah, I mean, every team has a culture. Just like Penn State has a culture, and some of us were offended to hear other people talking about the culture at Penn State, when I think the only people that can really make a comment on it are the people that are in it. So when I hear about how our culture is in the volleyball program, and I like what they're saying. So yeah, I like what they're saying. They need to work hard. They need to be a team. They need to hold each other accountable, and I think they made some strides in there. At least they say some things. Part of it is acknowledging that those are things you need to work on, and then we'll see. You don't really know where you are until you're in the heat of competition and somebody's pressuring you, and you have to be able to fend off not only the opponent's strengths, but the doubts that you might have as an athlete and as a team. Those are the things you need to do. Maybe that's what the Olympic team found in their last match, that in that last match against Brazil, they were in a position that they hadn't been in for the last 3 or 4 years because they were the best team in the world. So we went from being on the top of college volleyball's poll for a few years, and it was really hard to get there, and it was hard to stay there. And like all the other teams that are starting the season right now, everybody has dreams and ambitions, and we're one of those teams.
Coach, what are your thoughts on the Big Ten landscape this year?
Well, I think it's a great conference. I think it's always, it's always tough. Every match, home and away, is tough. Everybody's good at home. The venues are challenging. The scheduling, because of television this year, makes it a little more challenging for some split matches in midweek that put a little more stress on the players from a travel standpoint. But I think the conference will be very strong. I think there's the fact that Illinois made it to the finals of last year's national championship was a great reflection of the team they had and the strength of our conference. There were 2 or 3 teams last year during the season that were ranked #1 in the country. So it's, you know, I think it's a great conference. I don't know if it's the best conference because I've never coached in other conferences. I've been here this is my 34th year here. So I can talk about the Atlantic 10 being an independent in the Big Ten.
For any of the players, like Coach was just mentioning about the Penn State culture, kind of with everything that's gone around the athletics department, even though it hasn't been the volleyball team, obviously it's been the football team. Does it give you guys any more motivation or anything like that for this season with wanting to represent Penn State?
I think we've been given a really good opportunity to show people around here and everywhere else that, you know, we have a strong core and what we're really about. And I think this is our time to show it. So we need to come out and we need to show them that we are a family.
Russ, are there any incoming freshmen that look to have playing time this year? I know you're returning almost everyone from last year, but are there any young girls that step in and make an impact?
Well, I think that, you know, we graduated 2 players that didn't play a lot, but they meant a lot. You know, and Katie Cabas and Megan Shiflett and Darcy Darton, who was the freshman of the year in the conference and an All-American, transferred to, you know, College of Charleston, and Allie Longo, who is our starting libero, looks to be the starting libero at Hawaii this year. So we did lose players that meant a lot and players that played a lot. But, you know, I think that the newcomers coming in, you know, right now I would think that, you know, Megan Courtney has the best chance of getting a lot of playing time early, and but I would expect Paulina at some point in time to be taking some big swings for us, and I think both Kendall and Laura are both tough kids that play hard, that care a great deal about the program, and you know, those would certainly be good reasons for me to give them a little taste out there.
Dom, your front runner for libero, or what's the competition?
Well, she's here. So, I mean, I think it's I think what she indicated is fair. You know, if somebody doesn't play well, they'll get taken out. So I don't think Dom's any different than any of the other players. I mean, Carp set us to a national championship and didn't play a lot the next year. It's not based on the fact that I don't care about Carp. You know, it's, you know, today's today. So, you know, who plays today and who starts the match isn't as important to me as who finishes the match and who makes the team better. You know, the goal is to be the best you can be, not to be, you know, I don't care who's mad at me.
Do you ever care who's mad at you?
Do I ever care who's mad at me? Not a second, no. Because that's not my job. My job's not to make people happy. You know, my job's coach women's volleyball at Penn State and to, you know, do the best job I can for these kids and give them a good taste of what it's going to be like in life. And, you know, and so that's what I do. It's not about making people happy. I can make people laugh if I want to, but, you know, it's not, that's my side job. You know, this is my day job.
How big is the McClendon cheering section going to be this weekend?
Oh man, I hope it's humongous. I really do. Honestly, I think everyone that's going to be there is going to be cheering for us so loud. My sister's actually not going to be there, and my dad's not going to be there, but my mom and my brothers will be there cheering as loud as they can.